Hello everyone, back with me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to our channel in the Catechism for Kids. As the Christmas season gets closer, we start hearing those familiar heartwarming carols everywhere. But have you ever stopped to wonder about the stories behind them? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most beloved Christmas hymns of all time. O come, all the faithful. You might be surprised to learn that this joyful anthem has deep and somewhat secret Catholic roots. All over the world, this Advent and Christmas, millions will sing along to some version of Adeste Fideles, its original Latin title. It's a staple of worship, from grand cathedrals to small parish churches. In fact, it's traditionally the final anthem sung during midnight Mass at St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. But where did this powerful song come from, and why has it remained so popular for centuries? To find the answer, we have to travel back to the 18th century. The words and music are widely attributed to a man named John Francis Wade. Wade was an English Catholic layman, born around 1711, but he wasn't living in England when he wrote the hymn. He was living in exile in Douai, France. Why? Because this was a time of intense religious persecution in England. After the Protestant Reformation, and especially after the failed Jacobite rebellion of 1745, which sought to restore a Catholic monarch to the throne, being a Catholic in England was difficult and dangerous. Public worship was forbidden, and many, like Wade, fled to mainland Europe to practice their faith freely. In France, Wade made a living by painstakingly copying musical manuscripts in plain chant for wealthy Catholic families and communities who were keeping their faith alive in secret. The earliest known manuscript of Adeste Fideles, signed by Wade himself, dates to around 1743. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some historians like Bennett Zahn believe the hymn wasn't just a simple call to worship the baby Jesus. They suggest it might have been a coded political anthem, a subtle rallying cry for the Jacobites. In this interpretation, the call to come and behold him, born the King of Angels, could have been a double entendre, referring not only to Christ but also to the exiled Catholic prince, Charles Edward Stuart, whom they called Bonnie Prince Charlie. The lyrics urging the faithful to come with joyful and triumphant hearts to Bethlehem could have been a metaphor for returning to England to restore a Catholic king. It was a way to express hope and solidarity in a time of great adversity. Even if you're not convinced by the political theory, the hymn's Catholic identity is undeniable. The lyrics are incredibly rich in theology, drawing directly from the Nicene Creed, the foundational statement of Christian belief recited at Mass every Sunday. Phrases like God of God, light of light, and very God, begotten, not created, are lifted almost word for word from the Creed. They are powerful affirmations of the full divinity of Jesus Christ, a core tenet of Catholic doctrine. For a time, the hymn was known in England as the Portuguese hymn. This wasn't because it was from Portugal, but because it was often performed at the chapel of the Portuguese embassy in London. In an era when Latin hymns were viewed with suspicion by Anglican authorities as being too papist, embassy chapels were one of the few places where Catholic music could be heard more openly. So how did this Latin hymn for exiled Catholics become the English carol we all know and love today? For that, we can thank a man named Frederick Oakeley. Oakeley was originally an Anglican priest and a prominent figure in the Oxford movement, which sought to reintroduce more traditional and Catholic elements into the Church of England. In 1841, he penned the most influential English translation. His initial version began, "The faithful, approach thee," which soon evolved into the familiar, "O come, all the faithful, joyful and triumphant." Just 4 years after translating the hymn, Frederick Oakeley himself converted to Catholicism. Following in the footsteps of the famous Cardinal John Henry Newman, Oakeley's translation was brilliant because it captured the vibrant, urgent energy of the original Latin. The repeated call, "O come, let us adore him," feels like a child excitedly tugging on your hand, saying, "Let's go, let's go." It perfectly captures the pure joy of the Nativity. One line in Oakeley's original translation might sound a bit strange to our modern ears. "Lo, he abhors not the Virgin's womb." This was a direct theological point, echoing a much older prayer called the Te Deum. It was meant to counter ancient Gnostic heresies, which claimed that a divine being could not possibly mix with the corruption of a human body. It's a beautiful affirmation of the incarnation, that God truly became man in every way. Of course, like any great work, the hymn has seen its share of interesting and sometimes funny adaptations over the years. In the 19th century, one church in Bath, England, tried setting a different poem to the familiar tune. Worshippers were reportedly quite shocked when the song ended with the lines, "We hope to die shouting, we hope to die shouting, the Lord will provide." Not quite the Christmas spirit they were expecting. Mistranslations have also led to some comical results. When the hymn was translated into the Igbo language of Nigeria, one line was accidentally rendered as "God's pig," which is never shared, causing giggles among choir boys who thought it was about the clergy not sharing their pork dinners. Another translation into the Yoruba language mistakenly turned a line into "Go out and dig for palm kernels." The who are fond of passing water, it's a good reminder of how tricky translation can be. Despite these oddities, the hymn's power endures. Its beautiful, accessible melody and its profound message have resonated across cultures and centuries. It even made its way into high art. The Irish author James Joyce referenced it in his complex novel Finnegan's Wake. And the American composer Charles Ives wove the melody into his orchestral work. Decoration Day, the story of O Come, All the Faithful, is a powerful testament to the enduring nature of faith. It was born from a community facing persecution, possibly as a song of secret hope. It was crafted with deep theological richness, and then lovingly translated by a man on his own journey toward the Catholic Church. It reminds us that singing is a form of prayer, and that many of our most cherished Christmas traditions come from faithful Catholics who kept the light of Christ shining, even in the darkest of times. So, the next time you hear or sing, "O Come, All the Faithful," remember John Francis Wade, the exiled music copyist. Remember the secret gatherings of the faithful and the profound words of the Nicene Creed embedded in its verses. Let it be more than just a song. Let it be a true invitation, a joyful and triumphant call to come and adore Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the history of this carol, please give this video a like and subscribe for more stories behind our beautiful faith. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy as usual. See you next time, and God bless you always.